Well, I want to give a little bit of scoop about the DHS insider, Department of Homeland Security insider. I don't know if this guy's legit, if it's true. It's rumor mongering on the internet, but he pointed out one thing. He said, back in December of 2012, he said, watch after the inauguration in the springtime. Watch when the metals dip. That's when things are going to really take place. He says the Boston bond. I don't know if this is true. I mean, when you got a source says there's an anonymous insider, you don't know what the hell is going on. But he's saying that the next thing coming up, the dollar's going to collapse, like done. So I don't know. I heard this stuff before, but could be a right. I don't know if if this is just something conspiracy by the bullion dealers or what, but I don't know. Or just somebody making up stories, but because you don't know. But the thing that looks to me on the surface, though, there's a lot of damn gold and silver buying, especially silver buying like crazy, and yet the price can actually even drop further. Who the hell knows? Technically, could drop a couple bucks more. I don't know. But anyway, the U.S. Mint sold 63,500 ounces of gold in one day. And they've been selling record amounts of gold and silver. Also, but electronically, I think I was watching Bart Chilton, and he was saying that they sold a record amount of gold and silver on the market still. But physical buying is going the other way. It's crazy. But he said, one thing I figured, he's not screwed up. Bart Chilton, he's not screwed up. He's a good guy. He seems like he's a good guy. But the thing is, when he's talking about when they're trying to investigate everything that's going on and they're trying to implement all the rules of Dodd-Frank, and everybody's, Dodd-Frank was passed a few years ago, and most of the regulatory agencies haven't even implemented half the rules. They got so many lobbyists in the financial community. They're like the biggest lobby groups going. They got I think he says, 10 lobbyists for every representative that we elect in Washington. They got 10 lobbyists out there telling them what they want. Plus they fund elections. Plus, so even if these rules get passed, it's like they could defund the regulatory agencies that are supposed to be watching over the financial community. So the only thing I can really say for that is to really just keep buying the silver, really, or stay put or whatever. Just don't sell it, because something's going to break with this stuff. And I don't know if this DHS insider is a guy that's real or what. If it's one of those fake things or something, I don't know. But probably is real. Maybe he doesn't know everything, but he did say that. Watch when the metals dip. He said that back in. He said it was going to happen around springtime. Now he's saying that the dollar's getting ready to go down like this. So maybe, I don't know. But the one rumor I thought that's kind of crazy. I'll see if it comes up. Is the COMEX default or whatever, the London Bullion Exchange default comes up. It's supposed to happen within 20 days, according to Bix Weir. I don't believe that stuff for nothing. But as far as the dollar totally collapsing, I don't know about that. But I'm going to tell you that it's. I think they're going to take it down. I mean, they're going to take it down where it's not anywhere worth the same as it would have been before, like what we normally think of it as. The dollar's, got worldwide recognition. It's very powerful. It's not going to be like that. I think they're going to knock it down quite a bit. That Lindsey Williams prediction's probably accurate. They're not going to totally get rid of it. It's just going to be weak. And look at what's going on today. The thing is with QE, when people are looking at QE, they're buying up $85 million of mortgage-backed securities and troubled assets every month. That money is never going into the economy. That's why we're not seeing inflation. But it seems like this kind of policy is going on everywhere in the world, like with Japan. It's somehow it's going to get around. That money is never going to stay behind the wall of the dam forever. It's like, it's all sitting on these balance sheets. That's why it's not getting into the economy and causing inflation. But eventually it will. It definitely will. So, there's a number of factoids out here about freaking silver and stuff like that. Eric Sprott saying, he says, I'm sure we'll be seeing $100 to $200 prices of silver. Now, I'm going to say this. Eric Sprott's, when he's saying 100 to 200, that might be, I don't know, a couple years from now or whatever. I think, to tell you the truth, I think we're going to see a lot of things happen during the Obama administration. And if they don't go well, they'll probably have the other party in next time. And you might see, or even if it's not a change of political party, there's going to be a backlash. You might be somebody totally different in the Federal Reserve that'll change things around. It might be, government might be slashed or something. There might be different leaders, elections will come about where there's a lot different congressional makeup. That'll change policy a great deal. Because, we're looking out, there's some people saying maybe 5-10 years from now, like by the end of like 2020, silver hit its height. I think it's going to be well before then. The typical commodity cycle would put it around 2017. But, I'm thinking it's going to really happen during Obama's administration. Because as these things start playing out, there's going to be a big political backlash, and a lot of incumbents are going to be out, and there's going to be a big changeover in the Congress, and I think that things are going to start going so bad that the Republican Party probably win or something. But I know that they're screwed up big time, but you know what I mean. It'd probably be a major change in policy. So, and a major change in policy might straighten out, because I think metals are actually going to get way ahead of themselves during the Obama administration. Although it seems kind of like ridiculous right now, it's just that when they start taking off, they take off like crazy. And, the big danger is, when Eric Sprott is calling for 100 to 200, he's not crazy saying that type of stuff. I will not criticize him at all for saying that. That could be very well be the ultimate high, somewhere in 100-something range. The ones that are saying $500, $1,000, thousands of dollars, I don't know. I think they're crazy. And, it's like, but I guess it's not crazy if the dollar does totally collapse, but I don't think that's in the plan. So, I know the DHS insiders talking about the total collapse of the dollar is being planned right now. And they're going to have a global currency. I don't know. But I guess that would be a shrewder way to do things, because if there's New World Order conspiracy stuff is true, you want to chop out all the patriotic people. You want to defund them. Like, in other words, everybody that retired from the military that's got a check, all those checks would stop. Anybody that was a cop or anything like that retired, all those checks would stop. A lot of those people are really super patriots, So, you would have all the new police and all the new military or whatever the heck it is, and they'd be paid by a global currency. So, maybe. It's not too crazy. If you're going to figure there's going to be a big conspiracy to world takeover, that's the way to do it. Because you'd be screwing over all those people that retired from the military, all the police that retired and everything. They be, if the money goes to zero or gets really screwed up bad, all their money isn't worth nothing. So that's an interesting point. But I'm not sure where silver's going to, but I'm kind of leaning towards that it's not going to go to the stratosphere where we're going to have a total dollar collapse. I think the dollar's going to get greatly weakened. I think that's what's going to happen. And that's what Lindsey Williams says. I know I think he's a little bit BS or whatever the hell he is, but that makes a lot more sense in some ways. But then again, there could be different forces on it that are at work, because the oil interests that he knows have a vested interest maybe in keeping the dollar afloat somewhat. But they might not be on board with the global currency. there is different factions within the elite group. By the way, there's some other facts out here. 900% increase in gold imports by China in 2012. 9 times increase. A 500% increase from India for gold and silver. 5 times. So within 2011 to 2012, it increased that much. That's what it says here. I don't know if it's an accurate number, but I know that they've been demanding more and more gold and silver. And supposedly the cartels dumped 102 million ounces of silver in just 7 minutes or something like that. Now, Bart Chilton was saying that they, that electronically they were selling more gold than they did in 30 years. It was like almost a record. Crazy. So, I don't know, like this stuff it's like we got on one hand the electronic markets are going ballistic selling, and on the opposite side, the actual physical buyers are going ballistic buying. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It tells you something is really rotten in Denmark, or whatever you want to call it. Something's going on here. I don't mean to pick on Denmark, but you know what I mean. Something going on here, big time. So, but this DHS insider who talked about this watch when the metals dip, he's saying that the dollar is going to start. I don't buy the whole dollar collapsing, but I could see the dollar getting into more weakness now. There's a number of things that are going on, and I think this dip in the metals is just so people can buy them up cheap. Central banks are buying up whatever the hell there is. They're getting physical stuff, so that's why they're dropping the price. They're looking to they want people to part with the metal, give them some paper, and the paper's going to crap. So that's what they're doing. So anyway. We'll see if the DHS insider is at least partly right. If we start seeing the dollar start to take a dive south this year, because I think that's about right anyway. So, but silver could go a little lower in the very short term, but as long as people are buying, I ain't really worried about it. People are buying it like crazy. Price is dropping. Don't make any sense.